This may be the best year yet.
Let's do it.
She's a mom of 2.
She's a newlywed.
A wannabe influencer.
Her hair is iconic. This is your season.
She's just in her season.
Ooh, okay, let's do this. Guys, welcome back to another episode of In Her Season. It's your co-host Rachel, and it's just Rachel today. Liv is on a fabulous trip in Asia that I absolutely cannot wait to hear about, and she's there for a solid month. And I just got to give her a little shout out. She'll probably listen to this, but a little shout out to her because I don't want to speak on her behalf. However, I know she was really contemplating this trip, and I know she really wanted to do this, and there was a lot of things that were, potentially going to disappoint others if she did go. And I think it's just really important that her and Hayden took the time to go on, it's kind of like a honeymoon if you want to call it that, but just take the time for themselves to go and do this incredible adventure in a place that is truly foreign. I mean, it's an absolute culture shock to be across the other side of the world.
The food's different, culture is different, people are different. It's really exceptional to put yourself out of your comfort zone and go and do something that might not be super comfy, and just make the best of it. And I am just so proud of them that they took the time to be like, you know what, we're going to go do this, and people might judge us, and not everyone's going to approve or understand why we're going to Asia for a vacation or for, to discover the world. We could stay in the US or we could do stuff around here, but it's no, you're doing you. And I'm just really excited to hear this trip. But we worked so hard to get a month's worth of episodes in before she left. I mean, we really cranked it out. So it's really funny to now be here sitting alone. She's over there, but we're covered. We got the episodes coming. But yeah, so it's just me today. And with that, the topic that we are talking about today is cleansing. Cleanses, I feel is such a trigger word sometimes, because everyone hears, oh, you're on a cleanse, that's not for me, or, you're just doing something that is trending and whatnot. But I think cleansing is really important to acknowledge and to kind of sometimes see how you can cleanse in your own life. And naturally, we think okay, this is going to be about food. And in this particular instance, it is. However, it's also in other areas of life. There's so many opportunities in your life to cleanse and have a cleanse. And I think that, whether it's food, whether it's friendships, whether it's the media that you're consuming, whether it's just something that you want to change in your life to, I don't know, maybe up your vibration or change the view that you see everything through. There's always an opportunity for a cleanse to change what you want for yourself. And so for this episode, I'm going to particularly focus on 1, a food cleanse, 2, a friendship cleanse, and 3, a media cleanse. And these are 3 things that are super relevant to me right now. And I'm sure some of you guys will be able to relate to this as well. But the first one I want to start with is the food cleanse. So Luke and I are, and I haven't done it all the way through, but Luke and I are on the tail end of a food cleanse. And depending when this episode comes out, whether it's this next week, this particular weekend is the weekend of the snowstorm in the Midwest and the South. So we are snowed in. It's Saturday. The snow is coming down. You can't go out driving because we're in St. Louis and the roads are just not the people or the town's not well equipped for snowstorms like this. We saw plows going by and they're plowing, but there's no salt, and we need salt because it's literally 2 degrees outside. So, not the most fun thing to be doing when you're snowed in, to be eating or to be on a cleanse, but besides the point. So this particular cleanse was something that I actually approached Luke to about. I was just hey, there's this guy, I've mentioned him to you multiple times. His name's Medical Medium, or Anthony Williams, and he offers different types of cleanses for, what goals you have in mind. And Luke and I have both been sick in our, years ago, we've both been sick where doctors didn't know what was going on. And I in particular could not get out of bed. I was so fatigued. It was like mono, but it wasn't mono. And there was a lot of symptoms that were going on that doctors just didn't know. And it was debilitating. And my mom came across this Medical Medium book that pretty much explained symptom by symptom everything I was going through with answers, why it's happening, and what we needed to do to help get my health back and to pretty much help get my life back. And unfortunately, in society, there are people that have crippling chronic illness who cannot get out of bed, who have such brain fog they can't focus, who have psoriasis all over their body. There are so many different diseases and sicknesses out there right now that people are truly paralyzed from, and it's so sad to see. And he in particular really focuses on chronic illness, and his take is, no one has the right to tell you what's a good or wrong diet until they understand chronic illness. And so his cleansing and stuff may seem pretty extreme if it's not something you're familiar with. However, he has helped heal people, and it's all through food. And I have mentioned this so many times before on the podcast, but I am such a strong advocate and strong believer in what you ingest, and food wise will heal you. And that's why, in our family and stuff, we just take such precaution to what ingredients are in our foods, where we're getting our meats from, are things processed or not. Now, naturally, we don't stick to it 100% of the time. We do have times where let's go grab a burger, or let's have a milkshake. It's not, thankfully we're in a place where we can do that and we don't really have to think twice about it for our health. However, having both been sick before, I did approach Luke and I was just like, hey, it's a new year. We should really look at doing this 3-6-9 cleanse. It's 9 days long, and it really hits your liver to get to the point of releasing toxins, releasing pharmaceutical drugs, releasing things that you pick up when you go to a restaurant, or heavy metal toxins. It's pretty intense, but it really targets the liver and puts it in a position where it starts releasing toxins, and then you're having the foods to help carry it out of your system. So it's not for the faint of heart, but I said, we might not be feeling sick right now, but with our past, I wouldn't be surprised if we still have bugs in us, or there's still low grade things in us, because we do experience certain symptoms sometimes. I contribute parts of my acne to this. I contribute a lot of my skin stuff. Recently, I haven't shared this before, I don't think, but it's been many years that I actually have an allergy to the cold. And I know people are going to roll their eyes unless you're one of those individuals that also understands exactly what I'm talking about. And this is not just oh, I have dry skin and it gets a little itchy and rashy. No. If I have parts of my skin that are exposed to the cold, if I go outside in winter, or if I'm wearing leggings and I'm out there long enough, then my entire body will break out in hives, and it's red and splotchy, and it's really uncomfortable. It's including my hands. And this winter in particular, I noticed that it spread to my face, and it was truly everywhere, my whole body, anything that was really exposed to the cold. And since it hit my face, I was just this is not okay. This is very concerning to me. I've been dealing with it for years, but never to this extent and never to this extreme. So to me, that's a sign, hey, there's something going on in my system that I think you should pay attention to. And that was the message that I was receiving. I have adapted the mindset that our bodies do not attack themselves. They do not work against us. Everything that is happening is a message or a sign that you're not listening to it, or you're not listening to yourself. And so you're going to flare up in some sort of way. And so it's definitely been a journey, but I am very motivated to figure out what is going on, to like attack it and not come from a place of fear. I don't want to be like fearful of every little food that I eat, because I also have been in that position where it felt like I was in jail because I was so obsessed with like food. I feel I have like a really positive relationship with food, which is why I felt okay doing this cleanse. It's not calorie counting, but it is intense in the way that like you eliminate all fats and proteins and like any oils and salts, and what that does is it allows your liver and your blood to clear the fats out so that it can heal and accept the foods that you're giving it to, that are messaging your liver to like begin to heal. Again, it can sound kind of crazy if you're not familiar with this, but if you're someone who maybe struggles with some stuff and is looking for another option than maybe what they're used to doing, I highly recommend looking at Anthony Williams and his medical medium books, because it can, I think, really, really be mind-opening, and he's really there for the people. Again, everything's going to work different for everyone else, but this is what's working for us. So we started doing this cleanse. Luke is following it to a T all 9 days. I have started to reintroduce like a little bit of salt and a little bit of olive oil, because I mean, you can eat as much of the food you want as long as it's within the diet, but there's a point where I'm just like, okay, well, I'm not eating because I can't do boiled Brussels sprouts and asparagus. Like, that's just not working for me, and I need some sort of substance because I'm literally running over or like running around after 2 little kids all day. But it's vegan, but like further than vegan. It's like vegan pro max, and I'm like, being vegan for a week sounds easier than this. But anyway, so that's the first cleanse. We were like literally doing an actual cleanse that we both are feeling a difference with. I don't know if I'll ever do it again, but the cool thing is that we've done it now and we can go back to it, and there's a lot of information that I'm going to take with it throughout like the rest of my life, you know, like the morning stuff, like his like morning protocols, because I just believe to a T that it's never going to hurt you. It's always going to benefit you. It's always going to help you. And we just don't realize sometimes what we're carrying and how much our liver and body is burdened by what we've been exposed to. And I really don't want to wait until I'm actually chronically ill or until I'm sick to then have to take precautions and have to really, really, take everything extra seriously. I would rather be proactive in this, and that's just me. The second type of cleanse that we're going to talk about today is friendship cleanse. And this is super ironic because we literally just had an episode on gossip. Is gossip a good thing? Is gossip a bad thing? Well, in this instance, we're talking about the bad kind of gossip. And unfortunately, I was in the middle of it. And without coming across as like this victim mentality, I really have to say, since becoming a mom, I have been around more drama, I feel like, than I have in the past 10 years since like high school. High school drama, you're like, okay, this is like, looking back now, I'm like, okay, that was like pretty normal. Like, there was drama. It's not fun. I'm not excusing it in any way. But like, there's mean girls in high school and there's mean girls in college, but like particularly I'm thinking of high school because that's where I encountered them more. And you're like, okay, well, that's just weird. Like, that's unfortunate. But then becoming a mom and dealing with mean girls and like mean moms or moms that will put you down is honestly, I just find absolutely unexcusable. Unless there's an individual who is truly like a concern then, and you need to share that with other people, I understand. But if moms are intentionally trying to put down other moms, it's just unexcusable. And it usually has nothing to do with that mom. Like, it's usually the mom that's doing the talking and doing the gossiping and doing like finding all the problems that aren't problems that is the problem. But to be on the receiving end, when you're just trying to like take the best care of your kids and then you're hearing other moms like talking about you, it's really like it's so angering in a way, but it's also like laughable and it's just unexcusable. So this is when I became a mom, it's funny because you think that it's like a rite of passage to becoming friends with other moms. And I've learned now over time that is just simply not true. You're not going to be friends with every mom. You don't want to be friends with every mom, okay? It's just the same way as you don't want to be friends with other people in general sometimes. Like, you just don't click. You see things differently. Like, it's okay. But I've had 2 instances now where for some reason a mom does not like me. And that's okay. You don't have to like me. But they were kind of hurtful instances. The first one in particular. The second one is just a joke, but I'll get to it. The first instance is I became very close with an individual who we would talk all the time. We were there for each other. And all of a sudden, after like a period of like not hearing from her, like clearly like being ghosted or just like, I don't know, like you get a vibe, you know. I had received a text saying like, we don't want you, like your family, like we don't want you hanging out with us anymore. Like we don't think you're a fit for our life anymore, like blah, blah, blah. And she said some very hurtful and accusatory things that were just simply A, not true, or 2, just absolutely like mean. I have a husband that travels a lot for work. And so when I'm home with the kids, what helps me is to hang out with other moms or to hang out with other people for support. And I remember she was saying like, well, I just don't like how you reach out and your husband's schedule. I just don't like that. Like he's traveling all the time and you just reach out when he's traveling. And just like pulling things that were just so simply not true or just like mean to be mean. And I remember one time, like, we don't have any family where we live. So we travel to Chicago a lot to like go and visit our family. And I remember one time she was just like, why are you traveling to Chicago? Like, you live here in St. Louis. Like, stop. I was just like, our family's there. She's like, yeah, but you live here in St. Louis. And it's just so strange because when I tell you, like, I was so close to this girl, like, everyone knows that when you're close, like when you FaceTime in the mornings and you always text and like you joke around and you like get together as families, like, and then suddenly the next day it's just done. And what was even more strange is she literally said, I tried to let it fizzle out, but realized I couldn't because me being a good friend, I kept reaching out and checking in if she was okay and like giving her space, but like also still like, hey, like, what are you doing? And to know now that she was actually intentionally trying to let it fizzle out is insane to me. It's better now that she's not in my life because it's just, you know, like you once like that rug's like ripped out from under you, you can see everything that you just didn't quite acknowledge the time, like before the actual situation happened. But I was so shocked by that because, again, I was just absolutely blindsided. The second situation, and I wasn't hurt by this particular situation, but what it did is it really, really opened my eyes to that no matter how hard you try to put your best foot forward, there's going to be people that don't like you. And yes, that is like, we know this to a T. Like, we know that this is a fact. We hear it all the time. We get it. But I think because I didn't really have an attachment to this individual, it just reinforced it even more, where I feel like, okay, like now I actually understand. I can receive that message. Like, I get what you mean. Like, from the first situation, I really made sure that I was true to myself and who I wanted to be as an individual, so that in case anything as crazy as that ever happened to me again, I would know for a fact that it was not me and it's that individual that's, you know, like pointing a finger. And that's what happened in the second situation. And it was a part of a mom group, which is ironic because Ashley Tisdale just came out talking about like mom group drama. And I'm like, girl, I get it. And I'm not even asking for it. I don't think I'm a dramatic individual. I really like I said, I try to put my best foot forward. I want to be there for other moms. I want to be supportive. And there comes a point where it's like, I can put myself out there, and if I'm not receiving anything back, then okay, like I'll back off. Like I don't need to be friends with everyone, but like if it's not reciprocated, then I'm done trying, right? But this individual had, you know, the mom group, I was brought into the mom group. So the little mom group, I guess, kind of already existed with friendships. And since I was brought in, this other individual mom was not happy about that. And she was jealous. And she found 3 like reasons to not like me and to try and like, I don't know, find reasons why others shouldn't like me. And thankfully that didn't work because I actually have some solid friends in this group that I will always like be behind them, and I'll always support them, and I hope to be friends forever because that's what I want, and I love them so much. And so to be defended in that situation felt really good, like to actually know that I have girls around me to like be a voice for me when I don't know what's happening behind my back, and like I don't know the conversations that are happening behind my back that are intentionally trying to like put me down or like to have other people not like me. And yeah, it's just so strange because I was just like, WTF, but also like, I don't care. Like, I don't have an attachment to this person. But again, no matter what you do, there's going to be people that will find a reason not to like you. It was not the first time. It's definitely not going to be the last time. And I'm just putting it out there that's why you just do you. Stop worrying about what other people think, because people will not like you. People will find reasons to not like you. And you just got to do what makes you happy. Other people will be jealous. Other people will be jealous of relationships you have or your travel or family ties that you have. And it's not going to make them happy. If you are a secure individual up against insecure individuals, they will find a reason not to like you, period. Okay? It's like end of discussion. The more secure you are, the more insecure the insecure people are. Like, they will always find a reason not to like you. And they always try and put you down. And that's why I'm just excited for 2026, y'all, because the cleanse that is happening is we are finding our people. We are finding our path. We are becoming confident. We are becoming secure in ourselves. We are knowing what we want. We are figuring out what we want. We are charging forward for what we want, for ourselves, for our happiness. And not everyone's going to do that. Not everyone's going to know how to follow. And that's okay, because we got each other's back. And we want to be around other people that have that vibration, that lift us up, that support us in our happiest times. Okay? Not just when we're down. I want friends that like I can go and talk to about things that I'm excited about, things that I want to build for myself. And if that makes other people insecure, then they're not my friends. Because I want to be there for other people when they're trying to build something up and they're doing something for themselves. Because why wouldn't you want to be around people that help lift you up and bring you up? So that's cleanse number 2, okay? Let's just ditch the drama. Like, just let it go. We don't need that this year. Whether you're a mom, not a mom, married, whatever. Like, let's just cleanse this bad juju, okay? And then number 3, this is kind of interesting. The media, okay? We all know that sometimes we need to take a break from our phones. It's just a given. Like, our phones listen to us. Our whole algorithm is calculated to a T to make it so that it not only shows us what we want to see, but it also knows probably what kind of language we need to hear to be able to make us think a certain way, to make us think that we saw something a certain way, or that we hear something a certain way, or that we believe in something a certain way. And that is really, really important to, I think, see, and to see through that lens that like our social media has it down to a T what our personalities are like, so that it can influence us, probably manipulate us, and just show us what we want to see. So with that, with all the politics in the world that are happening, with all the shit that's happening, all the hate that's happening, all the narratives that are happening, I'm just like at that point where I am starting to unfollow bigger names that speak out about certain things, and it's primarily in politics, right? Like, I cringe when I hear this word because I don't want to talk about it. I don't have the energy. I don't want to be emotionally invested in this stuff. I want to be thoughtful. I want to know what's happening in a way where I can be like, that's messed up, or that's not okay, or hey, this is really important that this just happened. It's not in a way where I'm turning a blind eye, but it's in a way where it's just consuming my thoughts every single day, day in and day out, creating fear, creating a narrative. That's what I am cleansing and choosing to cleanse out in 2026. And I'm starting to unfollow some of these big people that are on these platforms because, not because I don't like following them, but because I need a moment to not constantly have that noise in my ears. Because if it's always from the viewpoint that, I usually stand behind, then I'm only always going to ever see that side of it. And there's a lot of things that maybe I don't agree with. And I don't necessarily want to be told otherwise, that because I'm on this side of things that I should agree with it, when that's not the case. And I think, unfortunately, it's so much fear mongering and there's so much negativity. I mean, that's what the news is, right? Like, we all know this. Like, there's no news without bad news, unfortunately. But that's also like what you're receiving is that vibration. And I am just choosing to like take a break from that and to like change my algorithm a little bit. Like, change it to like gardening and kid stuff and like what's around in my area. How can I help people in my area? Like, what are action steps I can do for my community and like in my life that makes sense, that I can actually do and, take action with, aside from seeing like everything that's happening where you feel sometimes like so hopeless and so overwhelmed and so like helpless. Like, what is there to do? Like, this is happening, but I can't do anything. And like when I start like having an emotional response, that's when I sometimes like know like, okay, like that's too much. Like, I don't need that anymore. And it's just insane how I feel like polarized everything is. And I want to believe that everything is going to start getting better. Like, everything, we will find a way to all come together again. But it's also hard to be like, well, how do we do that? Like, I feel like there's no connection anymore between, left and right. And like, is there anyone in the middle? Is there anyone that like isn't left or right in politics that just wants to talk and just like have a good conversation and just like think, think properly about certain situations? So yeah, and I might be rambling a little bit, but I hope I'm like getting my message across that like overall, I think 2026 is really a great opportunity to reevaluate everything that we are consuming, whether it's literally consuming like food or whether like what we're scrolling and like looking at versus what are we surrounded by every day? Who are we surrounded by every day? Who has our back in our best times, not just our low times? And just deciding for ourselves, am I in a place where I want to be? Am I seeing a trajectory for something positive in my life? Like, am I going someplace, or am I still stuck and am I still like stagnant? And then look at what is around us and ask, could it be that? Could it be my environment? Like, could it be what I'm consuming every single day that is keeping me stuck or that's helping push me forward? And yeah, I think I took like a moment to really think like, what am I going to talk about this episode? And there were some other topics that I did want to talk about, but this one it just suddenly became so obvious because it was just like back to back to back instances where I was just like, oh my gosh, it's a cleanse. Like, we're going to talk about cleansing. So anyways, thank you for listening. I really hope, and I'm putting it out there, that you can, if you're struggling, that you can find the strength to like reevaluate everything that's in your life and just see like, is this working for me or is this working against me? And how do we make it work for me? And yeah, we love you guys. I am so excited because then the next time that we pod, Olivia will be back. Liv will be back. I don't know if I said Liv or Olivia at the beginning. Interesting. Liv will be back, and she'll probably tell us all about her trip. I cannot wait. But in the meantime, I love you guys. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.